Hello, I want to talk to you about a conspiracy videos that I have been having on my about page. Not really about page, but it's been in my library for the last couple months. You can see it on the conspiracy videos that I like page in the playlist, which basically just shows you this one so-called quote-unquote time traveler, but then he's talking about the relevance of in 2030 what will become of future countries. He's taken lie detector tests to prove that he is not lying, which they all came up as truth. Whenever he did that, he talked about in 2030 of who would be the next president. He talked about all these different things, but the most relevant part is that he has predicted celebrity deaths that didn't even happen until they did. He predicted them months in advance. I'm talking really, really long in advance. A really big amount of time gap of when he predicted their deaths. And then he also predicted the 2016 election here in America and the outcome of said election, which turned out to be true. He also predicted. He did a video called the exact date, and he did the exact video of the exact dates of which things will happen in 2019 to 2020. And so the first thing is that in January of 2019 there would be a large spike in UFO sightings worldwide, which is actually physically true because you search up January 2019 UFO sightings and you will find them. You will find ones that are from days ago when you would search them up in January. I know this because I was in January when I was in January in 2019. I mean, this in the time frame. But so when I was in that, and I searched up January 2019 UFO sightings, you would just see a day ago, a day ago, a day ago, a day ago, a day ago. You would see really fast paced of them. But then when you search them up in any other month of the year, you would see not that many. You would see once every week, a couple every week. It was it wasn't that much of UFO sightings. And the thing is that he says that they've sparked up worldwide in cities everywhere, and that was true. He said that more people would be believing in them. I don't know if that's come true yet. So on the second point, he said in February, the world's biggest and longest snowstorm hits the Midwest, which actually kinda came true. Kinda. It said that it was the world's biggest, yet that still hasn't really compared yet to the 1975 one that happened and wiped out cities. It didn't really wipe out too many cities. It just did a lot of property damage It wiped out a couple cities, but a lot of property damage happened. It's still, if we have to wait a couple months, we'll probably have to wait another year or so until that is labeled the biggest snowstorm. Because at this point in time, things are not updating yet. Because why would you want to update that? But then he said in April, the first commercial robotic eye release that allows blind people to see, which came true. Surprisingly, it came true. In April, they came out with it, which is kind of cool, because it actually allows them to see and actually be able to see again and actually be able to do that, which is cool. Then I guess we have to wait till June, because he says the first implantable chip that allows paralyzed people to walk. So I guess we have to wait till June. So I'll update you guys when we're hit June. But then he said in 2020 in January of 2020. Controversy begins after releasing an A1 Machina Android. So basically the first Android is released. Basically that's what it's meaning. It's saying the first Android that is going to be released to the public. Then it will say, and then in 2020, November 3rd, President Donald Trump is re-elected. So if those other three things come true, then we have an actual thing on our hands to prove that this guy is an actual time traveler. Because most time travelers, they get like one thing right, and then everything else that they predicted is wrong. But this guy, he's predicted so many other things that have come true. And I guess we just have to wait till 2028, because that's when he says that aliens are supposed to supposedly come, and also that's when the world starts coming to a united standard and becomes reunited, and every country decides to see themselves as just the people of Earth, not the countries of Earth. Which, whoa, that'll be one hell of a sight to see. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'll update you on that story in June. Hopefully I don't just forget, which I'm probably gonna forget, but yeah, I'll update you guys as soon as I could in June when that thing comes out and see if it actually comes true.